I'm Mark Turner, Wildlife Extension Specialist at OSU, and today we're going to be talking about habitat management practices that you can be thinking about doing on your property during the winter. It's getting a little bit cold outside, and a lot of folks are thinking about either hunting or they've just ended the hunting season, but now is a great time of year to get out on your property and apply some habitat management practices, especially work that might be either a little bit more difficult to do during the summertime because it's hot out, or work that just really makes sense to do during the wintertime. For example, the winter is a great time of the year to get out in the woods with a chainsaw and conduct forest stand improvement on your property. Techniques such as girdle and spray or hack and squirt or just cut stump treatments are excellent to do this time of the year. It's obviously a lot more comfortable to be out working in the woods during the winter time. You're not getting as sweaty, there's not as many ticks to deal with, and certainly you can have just as good of effects. And so getting out in the woods with a chainsaw, trying to kill species that are undesirable while increasing the amount of sunlight that's hitting the ground, that could be a great thing for wildlife to do this time of the year. Speaking of working with a chainsaw, you can also get out and consider cutting eastern red cedar. Again, all the same reasons that we might not want to do that in the summertime, just the heat and the ticks, make this time of year a great time to cut eastern red cedar in both forest systems as well as in rangeland where they're encroaching. If you are in forested systems and you've got a really dense stand of eastern red cedar, you can consider felling them and doing what we call the cut and stuff method, where we would cut them and then stuff them up underneath other red cedar, and that just would allow basically more intense fire whenever we come back and burn that to kill the remaining red cedar in that stand. If you're working in more open systems, one thing that you might consider doing this time of the year is disking in areas that are going to serve as brooding cover as well as forage for deer. This is a great time of the year to get out there with a disc on a tractor in areas that have too dense of native grass cover. Go through and run a disc over that area to break up the ground. That's going to promote a lot of annuals such as common ragweed or annual sunflower or partridge pea, all of which provide excellent brooding cover for bobwhite quail as well as for wild turkeys. And those species are also highly selected deer forages that are going to provide a lot of nutrition for deer. So consider areas that you want to provide brooding cover, going out and disking that area because those animals are going to use that readily as opposed to something that has a lot more dense vegetation. And then finally, regardless of whether you're working in the woods or in rangeland systems or even in fields on your property, you can certainly think about preparing for the prescribed burning season. A lot of dormant season burns are going to be taking place in January, February, and March. And so go ahead and think about getting your fire breaks disked in, or if you need to use a bulldozer to put them in, or even a leaf blower. Regardless of the technique you're using to put your fire breaks in place, think about getting them in place well ahead of time, and that's going to save you a lot of trouble whenever the burn days come up and you maybe didn't take as much time to prepare. So think about getting your fire breaks ready well ahead of the burning season. Now is an excellent time to do that. For more information on all these habitat management practices I've talked about today, check out some of the resources on the SUNUP website.